abandoned on a beach on the Shotover River, is New Zealand's most complete surviving gold dredge. Dredging for gold was widespread in the rivers of the South Island, so much so that New Zealand became a world leader in the technology. The dredge was built on the next beach down 85 years ago. For many years, nearly all dredges were bucket dredges, but this one was built as a suction dredge. In Otago's rivers, bucket dredges had a lot of trouble with large slabs of schist, or with boulders. It was thought that a suction dredge might overcome these difficulties. But the dredge was a failure, and it ceased operation only 2 years after it was launched. An example of Kiwi ingenuity that didn't work. But there's still lots to see. In a central slot, right through the hull, are several pipes from the ladder, up which the gold-bearing gravel was sucked. The sucking was the job of the gravel pump. This needed a 165 horsepower motor to drive it. The pump pulled the gold-bearing gravel up the ladder, onto the processing table on deck. After extracting the gold there, the tailings were simply dropped back into the river. A 50 horsepower motor drove a rotating cutting head on the foot of the ladder. The ladder could be raised and lowered by a winch on deck. Another motor. A long tube acted as a sort of diving bell. With air continually pumped in, it could be lowered to the riverbed to give the miners access to any gold that might have been swept into the crevices, beyond the reach of even the suction system. And this, of course, meant yet more motors and pumps. There's not a lot of electrical gear left. But looking at the remains, there was a lot of machinery to drive. Not the least of which were the winches that moved the dredge from one place on the river to another. The power for all this came from a hydro station on the other side of the gorge. Getting to see the dredge isn't easy. Today, the only regular traffic on the river are tourist kayaks and jet boats. But they'll go past many other interesting gold mining relics close by. Visible from the deck of the dredge are these twisted metal pieces, left over from a bold attempt to divert the river, the idea being to allow the miners direct access to the riverbed. But it's hard to imagine the raging Shotover River tamed by such measures for long. Look around central Otago and you can see these plates recycled as retaining walls, or even as parts of farm buildings. And just around the corner from the dredge are other mining relics. This is the boom from a traditional bucket dredge. And here, a boiler that provided the power for different machinery, such as this more recent processing unit. In just half a kilometre of the river lies a treasure trove of different gold mining techniques. And even if nothing still works, Getting there is a thrilling experience.